Om Dakshinasya Samarambha Shankaracharya Madhyama Asmadacharya Paryanta Smarya Guru Parampara Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaran Loka Shankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Parigyanashrama Shri Guru Shankara Parigyanashrama Shankara Sadguru Keshava Vamana Krishna Panduranga Ananda Parignana Guru Sadyo Jata Shankara Sadguru Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Vedantadindimah tattvam ekam udghoshayanti yat Astam purastat tejaha Dakshinamurthy sannitam. So as I said, we are almost coming to the end of last few verses, about 20, 25, 20 verses are there now for us to complete the text. And we are finding that now, all this time, what happened was the Acharya was trying to talk about how the Atmajnanam alone is actually responsible for moksha. Nothing else. There is nothing else which can give me moksha. It's only the Atmajnanam that can give me moksha. What is moksha? Freedom from samsara. What is the meaning of freedom from samsara? We have to understand this very, very clearly. Freedom from samsara does not mean that the world disappears for me. For a person who's a jnani, the world does not disappear. It absolutely does not disappear. It remains. It remains the same as it has been. It will be whatever has been. Because world is Ishvara's creation. It is a manifestation of Maya. Therefore, the world remains as it is, as it should be. It remains as it is. There is no way in which the world can disappear. There is only one time that the world disappears totally for both a jnani and an ajnani, and that is in the deep sleep state. That's all. When a person is deeply asleep in the sushupti, that is the time when actually the whole world of appearances, of names and forms totally disappears. But then otherwise, the world remains, the objects of the world remain the way they are, people remain the way they are. Our bodily afflictions remain the way they are. There is no question of my being suddenly healthy. An unhealthy body does not become suddenly healthy. Doesn't mean that there is no shoka. Means what? Shokam tarati atmavid doesn't mean that there are no stimuli for shoka. There are enough. Whatever was there earlier is there. But then none of them can create shoka for a jnani. None of them. None of the stimuli, none of those which are, provocations from the world outside can provoke any kind of shoka, moha or raga. Raga, shoka, moha, rupi, samsara. What is samsara? It's not that the world is affecting me, but the raga, that is the likes and dislikes, moha, the confusion to do or not to do. Is this right or is this not right? The confusions created by the world, and also the sorrow created by the world. That sorrow which is created because of things that are not happening the way I want, or things are happening exactly opposite the way I want, or sometimes they do happen the way I want, but definitely they do disappear. They change. Therefore, raga, shoka, moha, provoking jagat is all the time there. There is no question of the world disappearing. There's no question of the situations in the jagat disappearing. But what really disappears is the reaction of the mind in the form of raga, shoka, moha. And raga, shoka, moha, rupi, samsara is what totally disappears for a jnani. It totally disappears for a jnani. This is what is called as moksha. Moksha is not reaching anywhere. Moksha is not getting something. Moksha is not something where nothing exists outside. No, it's not that. Everything is as it is. Only thing is the anatma jagat, the anatma body mind sense complex no longer have the power to affect me. They don't have the power anymore to create any raga, shoka, moha in me. This is what is called as freedom from samsara. Samsara is what I create for myself. An Ajnani creates samsara for himself or herself. World as such does not cause any samsara. It is Ishvara's creation, it is there. It is absolutely neutral. The Jagat cannot cause me any kind of a problem, it is neutral. For me, something may be a happy thing. For somebody else, it may, the same thing may cause unhappiness. For somebody else, it is dukkha. But for me, the same thing is sukha swarupa. For another person, it's absolutely neutral. It doesn't matter whether it is there or not. Therefore, as such, the Jagat cannot create any problems for me. It is neutral. It is my ahankara mamakara, my association, my strong entanglement with this body mind sense complex and the anatma jagat. Whatever is close or associated with this body mind sense complex, I say it is mine, mamakara. I say I am this body mind sense complex, ahankara. Whatever is associated with that, mamakara. So, this ahankara, mamakara, which I have created myself out of what? Out of ignorance. It is that ignorance which is causing me this particular thing called as samsara. Otherwise, neither the body mind sense complex, nor people around me, nor my family members, maybe their children, nor maybe spouse or parents or anybody for that matter, no living beings, no non living beings can really cause any problem to me. If at all there is a samsara, it is created by an ignorant jiva itself. I, the ignorant jiva, because of my avidya, because I do not know what is the truth of myself, what is the truth of the world, I have ahankara and mamakara with the objects, the names and forms, the so-called anatma universe, which causes me samsara. Therefore, when you say samsara nashaha, samsara gati samsara is gone, going and coming again and again is gone, what does it mean? It only means that I am aware and abiding in my Atma Swarupa, which does not get affected by anything else. Nothing in the world outside can affect me. Therefore, samsara, which was created by me myself as an ajnani, with jnanam, when that ajnana goes, the self-created samsara also goes away. And so, in the last verse, we saw that. We very clearly understand that there are certain objects or certain attributes of objects in the world, but we know how to look at those objects without those attributes, which we saw in the 76th verse last time, which said, Upeksha doshan grihyante vishaya yatha upeksha drishyam tad brahma iti vedantadindimah. What it says is that even as an ajnani, when I see certain things in the universe, certain objects, whatever the appearance of the object is, I know that that is not real. Like I gave you many examples. I may see a black coating over a silver vessel, but I know very clearly that that black thing is something which has accumulated and that can be removed, and the real nature of that silver vessel is nothing but silver. I know that. So, what do? I intellectually discard the blackness or that black layer and understand that this is the ever shining silver that is there. I gave you many examples like that. Even, our experience of sunrise and sunset. Yes, we are experiencing it, but we know very well that there is really no sunrise, there is no sunset. Actually, it is the earth which is moving, which is causing this particular appearance. That also we know. Therefore, in spite of certain attributes of certain things, we are able to ignore them and see the underlying thing very clearly as it is. Like I gave you another example of things tasting different. When I'm sick and when I'm recovering from sickness, I find that something tastes very different. But I know that no, that's not true. The different taste that I'm getting out of rice or out of sugar or something like that, it's not really belonging to that. It is because of something else that this particular thing is tasting different. But I know that the real nature of sugar is sweet and not bitter. In spite of the bitter taste that I'm experiencing while eating sugar when I'm recovering from an illness, I ignore, intellectually, I ignore the bitterness of sugar and understand very clearly that what I am eating is nothing but the sweet sugar, and the sugar is sweet. I clearly understand that. So, what here the Acharya says is, what Vedanta says is, similarly, you have to look at Brahman also. Brahman is nirguna. Gunatita Brahmatma. Atma Brahma is Gunatita. And therefore, anything that I see outside in the Anatma Jagat as a name and form, intellectually I should be able to discount the name and form called as the Upadhi. And then I should understand that this Upadhi, this name and form here is mere and Upadhi Drishyam. Drishyam means what? What is seen. And when I understand that the Drishyam is only an appearance, and when I understand intellectually, I keep aside the Drishyam name and form, and I understand that without this Upadhi, whatever is there is nothing but Brahman. Now I may look at this book. This book is what? This book is a name and form, correct? But if I'm intellectually able to ignore or discount for this name and form called book, what is it ultimately? It is the isness, the existence called as Brahman. So this book is also existence or Brahman with the name and form. Therefore, what here the Vedanta says is, every time in the Jagrad Avastha, in every experience of ours, if we are able to intellectually discount the name and form and understand that what is there is only Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma, despite the name and form, what is there is only this Atman. So we have to Upeksha Drishyam Tad Brahma. Upeksha, ignore, discount for negate. It is there, but I don't look at it. Yeah, it is there. Let it be there. It doesn't matter. But what is really there is nothing but this existence and consciousness called as Brahman. This is what I understand. Then, in the next verse, he says, then, what is this moksha purushartha? What is moksha purushartha? And what is the ultimate purpose of it, that a mukshu wants it? And what is the very nature of that moksha? It's not a sthiti. It is not a state which comes and goes. It is that my swarupam itself, which is permanent, which is nityam, which is all the time there, abiding in this Atma Swarupa, Ananda Swarupa Atma. Ultimately, what is it, this Parama Purushartha called as moksha? What is it really? We are talking about moksha, moksha purushartha. From Atma Jnanam itself is moksha purushartha. Okay, fine. I have understood Aham Brahmasmi. I am abiding in this Atma Swarupa, which I call as moksha, which not I mean Vedanta calls as moksha. And in here, in this abidance, there is no more samsara for me. There is, the world is there, everything is there. But I am no longer affected by this samsara. There is no more wanting in me. I want, no. No more apurnatvam in me. I'm not feeling that apurnatvam anymore. I am the Purna Ananta Atma. Purnatvam. Who am I? I am the Purnatva Swarupa Atma. Lacking in nothing. I don't want anything anymore. The wanting is over. Then becoming is over. I'm not happy the way I am. I want to become something else. I'm not happy with my gray hair. I want to again become black haired. I'm not happy with my skin, which is becoming wrinkled after 65 years or whatever. I want to look young. I'm not happy here. I want to be somewhere else. I'm not happy the way I look. I want to become something else. I'm not happy the way I am. I want to become something else. This is my samsara. Okay? Becoming, wanting, because as a jiva, I always feel a sense of limitation. I always feel that I'm lacking something. There is a sense of lacking. All the time, this sense of lacking is there. Why is it so? And what is the difference when I abide in Atma Swarupa? What kind of a sukham is it? What is the meaning of anantatvam? What is the meaning of purnatvam? That is what is being talked about here in the 77th verse, which is nothing but the phalam of this jnanam in the form of moksha. So let's read the verse 77. Sukhamalpam bahu klesham vishayagrahinam nrinam anantam brahmanishtanam iti vedantadindimah. So here he says, Vishayagrahinam nrinam. Vishayagrahinam nrinam. Those human beings, those of us who are after Vishayas. What is the meaning of Vishaya? The world of objects outside, where we think that that is going to give me happiness. Vishaya grahinam, Vishaya grahinam nrinam. Not grahanam, Vishaya grahinam. Vishaya grihinam means those who are interested only in acquiring Vishayas, thinking that it is going to give them happiness. Correct? That's what we are doing now. Why are we running after something? I feel that, okay, more money will give me more happiness, more security. Bigger house will give me more happiness, more security. More relatives give me more happiness, more security. More gold, more happiness, more security. More position, more happiness, more security. Power, more happiness. So, what are we running after? We are running after material things for what? For the sake of getting some kind of a purnatvam or happiness. Because we are so apurna inside. We are so unfulfilled inside. We are so atriptas inside. And we feel that certain things in the world are going to give us that purnatvam or happiness. And what are the main three things all people are running after? What are the main three desires? In these main three desires, only all the desires come. Okay? Putraishana, Vittaishana, and Lokaishana. That's all. Lokaishana, I want to be in the right place. I want to have the good surroundings around me. I should have a comfortable living surrounding around me. Nothing wrong. Nothing wrong in expecting this. But it doesn't stop there. I want better and better and better situations. And so, what do? I do all kinds of yagas and yajnas so that after the body falls off, also, I travel to higher lokas. I have the location of going to Swargaloka, going to Pitraloka, doing this, doing that. So I do whatever I have to do, not only in this life. I want better situations around me, better arthas around me, better karmas around me, everything better, 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 better. Not happy with what I have, not happy with what I am. Okay, oh, I'm just traveling within the country. No, I'll be happier if I have a vacation abroad every year. If I go abroad every year, I'll be much happier. Now, location. After death, I don't want to come back anywhere else. I want to go to higher lokas, enjoy the Swargaloka. I want to see how the denizens or devas live their lives. I want to go there. Location. So I want to be somewhere else. I'm not happy where I am. I want to be somewhere else. Then Putraishana. Putraishana means I want to always feel myself alive by creating a progeny. I feel that no, if I am gone, there should be somebody else who is there to continue my progeny. So Putraishana. That means the need for having an immediate family around me. Nothing wrong again. I want to have more children, grandchildren, relatives, some kind of an happiness that I probably feel having all those people. I think that they are going to be a support to me. They are going to help me, maybe to some extent, yes. But that security is not something which is permanent, because in today's world we are seeing any number of people we may have around us, but ultimately there is nobody who can give that security and happiness. So, Putraishana. Then Vittaishana, resources, artha. Why? Vitta no longer gives me the spending capacity. No doubt about it. But will Vitta or resources or money in the form of anything, money in the form of property, money in the form of gold, money in the form of cash, money in the form of anything that you say, Vitta. Why we want more and more? We are not sure whether whatever I have now, will it be enough for me? Whatever I have now, I have to make provisions for my children, for my grandchildren. Having house for me is not enough. I want to buy houses for my children, for my grandchildren. I want to save for my children, my grandchildren, with Taishana. And I feel, no, this will not be enough. I'm not happy. Am I not happy now? How much of what I'm having now I'm using? I don't look at that. But what I have is not enough. What I have is not enough. I want more. I want more. So I want. So Putraishana, Vittaishana, Lokaishana. These are the sukhas that I'm expecting out of all the Vishayas in this world. Correct? But what kind of a fulfillment do they give us? He says, Sukham alpam bahuklesham. All these Vitta, Putra, Loka, any of their desires, hundreds of desires we may have, but you can Classify all of them into one of these headings. How much happiness will I get? Sukham alpam. Alpa sukham. For a short time. It's not a permanent sukha. It's a very short time sukha, he says. Why short time? Because getting that is so much of dukkha. See, supposing my current, you know, uh, financial status is X. Fine. I want to take it to Y. How much of time it will take? How much of effort will it take? How much of dukkha it will take? And I'm not sure whether from X to Y, how my journey will be. X may not remain, X may not go to Y, X may even come down. Therefore, what is said is, to get something that I want, to fulfill myself, first of all, it is dukkha mishri tattva. How long will it last? Whatever I get. I feel I don't have this. If I have this, I will be happy. Okay, fine. I will try to have this. Go do all my effort to have this. No problem. Let us make an effort. Nothing wrong in material abhyudaya. Let me tell you, Vedanta never says remain poor. No. Nothing wrong, but understand the limitations of it. That's all Vedanta says. Okay? You go after something. This is not enough. I want something else. To get that something else, how much time and effort and ayasa we are going to have? That is dukkha mishri tattvam. Once I acquire it, to protect it, I have to protect it, no? I can't just leave it like that. If I have 3 houses, I can live only in one house. The other 2 houses, what do I do? Can I keep them locked? Then I have to look for somebody to take care of it, or somebody to stay in it, or somebody to whom I rent it out, and you know the problems of it. Correct? Nothing wrong in having more. But then maintaining that more also is not an easy thing. So there also there is dukkha. Thirdly, I may lose it. Any time I may lose it. Whatever I have gathered, it doesn't take much time to lose it. There are so many natural disasters. There is so much of government interference in everything. One day I may lose everything. One day I may lose whatever I have gathered with so much of custom. Or I may leave, I may go away, my body may fall, I may die before even I have experienced the sukha of that. Struggle, struggle, struggle. And when it's about to happen or it has just happened, Abba, I got what I wanted, and who knows, next minute I may not be there. So, acquiring something, protecting what I have acquired is dukkham. Can I enjoy that? We don't know. We really don't know. Whatever I have acquired with so much of trouble, whether I'll be able to really enjoy it also, I don't know. Dukkha mishri tattvam. And immediately there is something else which I want. It's not over with acquiring whatever I want. Immediately there is a desire for more, something more. Atripti will always be there. And what happens? It binds me. Do more, 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 more. That more and more and more and more becomes a binding. It becomes an addiction for me. So he says, Vishaya grahinam drinam sukham alpam bahuklesham. Acquiring the Vishayas is not that easy, he's saying. Bahuklesham. Very difficult. Dukkha mishri tattvam is there, atriptikaratvam is there, bandhakatvam is there, which are the doshas, 3 doshas associated with the world outside. That is why it is said that, be careful. There's nothing wrong in wanting, but if you're spending your entire life in fulfilling your desires, wanting something, reaching somewhere, getting something, we have no time to enjoy what we have got. Absolutely no time. Somebody else will enjoy what we have kept. Somebody else who has no value for what we have done, such people will enjoy it. I have neither enjoyed it nor I have only accumulated so much of bandhakatvam, so much of a kind of, bondage with that. Therefore, what here he says is Vishaya Grahinam, for people who are totally dependent upon Vishayas or objects for their happiness. What happens to them? Sukham alpam bahu klesham. Alpam sukham. Absolutely, the sukham that I get is so momentary, so anityam. As karma phala, all the results that I get are absolutely alpa sukham. I may think that when I get that, I'll be very happy. But every time all of us have understood, all of us have seen that when we get that thing, the imagined sukha that we imagine that I'll be so happy when I get it, that happiness is not there. We all have experienced it, no? So much I want something, I go after it, I do so many things, but I really suddenly I understand that after getting that, I understand that, my God, I mean, I'm not really feeling that happy. I saw in somebody's house some 10, 12 packages got out of Amazon unopened. From Amazon, they have, what is all this? No, at that time I wanted it so much, but by the time the packet came, I lost interest in it. So they're all unopened. Who has asked for it? I have only asked for it. I have only ordered for them thinking that I want them. Okay? That's what that person said. I wanted it so badly, I ordered. But now I have not even opened that. It's 2 months since these packets came, more than 2 months, but I have not opened. Because right now I don't need it. That time I felt that I needed it and I ordered. But now I'm not interested in opening it. Unopened packages like this is our wanting, temporary. So Sukham also is temporary. And the trouble that I take, the money that I spend, the physical effort that I spend is great. Sukham alpam bahu klesham vishaya grahinam drinam. Whereas for a brahmanishtaha, what is it? For a sthita prajna brahmanishtaha, what is that sukham? Anantam sukham. Anantam brahmanishtanam. Anantatvam purnatvam. Ihaiva sarve praviliyanti kamaha. No more desires, no more wanting, no more apurnatvam, no more atriptikaratvam. I am that Ananta Swarupa Atma, Sukha Swarupa Atma, Ananda Swarupa Atma. I have nothing lacking. Yes, my body, mind, sense complex is lacking everything. There's no Purnatvam for body, mind, sense complex. There's no Purnatvam in the objects of the universe. But I, the Atma, is always Purnatva Swarupa Atma. I am the total. I am the infinite. I am the Ananta Atma. That's why in Taittiriya Upanishad, it says, Soshnute sarvan kaman saha. This Brahmanishtaha, this person who has abided in his Ananda Swarupa Atma, Ananta Swarupa Atma, Sarvan Kaman Ashnute, Saha Ashnute. Simultaneously, it is as though he is simultaneously experiencing the Ananda of everything in this world. That's why it is said, Moksha Purushartha includes all the other three Purusharthas. You have no more kamas left. You have no more desire for any artha. You don't have to accumulate any more punya in the form of dharma. Dharma, artha, kama, purusharthas have no more significance for you. They don't have any value. You don't have any value for them anymore. There's no question of any significance of dharma, artha, kama, purusharthas. Therefore, moksha purushartha is the one in which all the other three purusharthas get totally resolved. It is a resolution of all the other purusharthas. Total saha ashnute sarvan kaman. Okay, that is what is said. And then in that case, what is that alpa sukham that we experienced by the world of objects? Is that something different? Do the objects of the world have any happiness or sukham or purnatvam in them? No. Then what is it? Whatever ananda we are experiencing in the objects of the world is nothing but a reflection of this, my own Atmananda. No anatma object has any inherent ananda or sukha in it. Then what is it that I experience? Suddenly when I get what I want, I'm very happy. From where this happiness came? It came from me, this Ananda, a small reflection of me, the Atmananda, appeared in a quiet mind. When I get what I want, I'm so happy that for the time being, the mind is totally silent and in a very, very happy state in which the Atmananda clearly reflects. Till when? Till the interest in that object is gone. So that means there are no two anandas. Vishayananda, Brahmananda, we say. Is Vishayananda different from Brahmananda? No. Vishayananda is a mere reflection of Atma Ananda itself. But I do not understand it. I don't understand it. What I say is, there is happiness in that object. When I get that object, I will be happy. I attribute Ananda to the Vishaya, which is not true. The Vishaya Ananda, the Alpa Sukham out of the Vishaya also comes from where? It comes from within me. It is a reflection only. So Bhutani asya anandasya matram upajivanti, it says, the Upanishad says. This Atmananda, a small reflection of that is what makes all the jivas survive. Otherwise, nobody would survive. If there was no ananda in the world of objects, if everything was so, if every Agnani was miserable, then none of us would have survived, isn't it? So there is something in the world of objects, but that Ananda is not inherent to the objects. That Ananda is something which is the reflection of this source of Ananda. Okay? Satchitananda Atma. This Ananda Atma, this Ananda gets reflected in a happy, quiet mind when its wanting is fulfilled for the time being. Only for the time being. That's why it is Sukham Alpa. Very soon the mind starts again getting disturbed. And in the disturbed mind, there is no question of Atmajnanam completely reflecting itself totally. A small aspect of this Atmananda, for the time being, getting reflected in the mind when your mind is a little quiet for some time. That is the Alpa Sukham we are experiencing in the Vishayas. The Vishayas do not have any kind of a Sukha in themselves. That is what he wants to say. Brahmanishta, for a Brahmanishta, it is what? Anantam Sukham. Anantam, Purnatvam, fulfillment. Infinite is the Ananda. Infinite, Anantam, infinite is the Ananda for a Brahmanishta. Brahmanishtanam iti Vedantadindimah. And to go a little further into that Vishaya Anandas are not really the consistent givers of Ananda. Consistent. See, for example, I'll tell you, something gives me happiness now, right now. I want something, I get it, and for the time being, I'm happy. My own Ananda is reflected in that I'm happy. In this quiet mind, it's reflected, I'm happy. But I can't say that the very same thing next time gives me happiness. Isn't it? I get the same thing. I don't want it. I'm not interested in it. But I get that same thing again after some time when I'm not wanting it. Does it give me that kind of an ananda again? No, it doesn't give me that ananda. Oh, I already have it. I don't know why they have given me this. What to do with this? Don't we say that sometimes? Oh, so much I already have. What am I going to do with this? Isn't it? So, that is what is said here, that whatever gives me these objects, money, artha, kama, whatever it is given by anything in this jagat, that is not permanent and it does not have its own source of happiness. That is what is being talked about here in the next verse. The 78th verse is talking about that. So he says, धनैर्वा धनदैः पुत्रैः दारागारसहोदरैः ध्रुवं प्राणहरै दुःखम् इति वेदान्तडिण्डिमः. So he says, dhanairva, either by money, dhanadaihi va, givers of money. What gives me money? My job may give me money. My property may give me money. Okay? Whatever gives me money, artham. So that artham itself, dhana, or the giver of the artha, dhanadaihi, putraihi. I want children, I want children, I want to have children. What happens? We don't know. With so much of desire, doing all kinds of things, going through all kinds of things, we fight for it and we have children. But are they very lucky ones are the ones who get happiness through their children? Very few lucky ones. Because of their purva janma, krita punya, probably they get good children in their lives. And children are a source of happiness to them, at least for some time. At least they won't be a source of nuisance or trouble to them. But for most of the people, putra, pautra, the family members themselves can be a source of dukkha. Have we not seen it? In our own families, we have seen. In our own lives, we have seen. Everywhere around, we have seen how the very close, immediate family itself can be a source of dukkha. We have already seen that, isn't it? So, putraihi, dara, spouse. Dara actually means wife, but it means spouse here. Happiness from the spouse. Oh, we want to get married. We want to get our son married. We want to get our son married, daughter married. What for? Because, no, that is the thing which has to happen. That is the normal thing in society. Fine. No problem. Yes, it is the duty of the parents to, do it. No problem. But then what is the guarantee that marriage gives me happiness? What is the guarantee that the dara or the spouse gives me happiness? What you call as the kalatra or, dara or, bharta. Bharta means the husband or dara, the wife. How do you know that they are going to give me happiness? My life may be more miserable with them. Correct? So dara, gara, house, properties, possessions. Gara means any kind of a possession. Possession in the form of a house. Sahodaraihi, sahodaras. Nowadays we find sahodaras or your co-borns, siblings can be more a source of dukkha than sukha. Very few lucky people probably have good siblings, but many times Most of the kleshas and kalahas are coming because of the siblings. So here what he says is dhanairva, dhanadaihiva, putrairva, by darava, garaha, sahodaraihiva, dhruvam pranaharaihi dukkham. So he says that, okay, there is no question of dhruvam. It is definitely dhruvam. It is definitely what is going to cause difficulties in life. What kind of a difficulties? Prana haraihi dukkham miti. Prana haraihi. Maybe it's a little exaggeration, but the author wants us to get vairagya towards them. It doesn't mean that today we have to discard our families or disown our children. Or no, it doesn't mean. Understand the limitations. That's all. Unfortunately or fortunately, because of prarabdha, a certain people are there around us. They are born with us. They are born out of us. They come into our lives as spouses. Some people come into our lives out of prarabdha, whatever it is, to fulfill a certain prarabdha that we have to work out with these people. Okay, but then they are not the source of happiness at all. A few moments of happiness may be there, but we cannot say that they are forever the source of happiness. He says, prana haraihi dukkhai. Okay, those who are entangled with these, then, there is no question of getting any kind of a happiness. Yes, temporarily it is there. There is no doubt about it. From all these things, some kind of an happiness must be there. No, otherwise, why will we go after them? Why will we go after them? I want to get married. Why? I feel there is something more in married life than what is here. Because I want to be somewhere else. I want something else. I want children because it's something different than what I am now that I don't have. I want, okay, because I feel that is going to be a better thing. Okay, I don't want to be here. I want to be somewhere else. That is better than this. So, temporarily, yes, all these things they give me sukha, alpa sukham, but ultimately they are not going to be the permanent source of sukham at all. It is not going to be there. And those who are fully entangled with this, what happens to them? He says, prana haraihi dukkham iti Vedantadindimah. Literally, they may come with prana haraihi. There are kind of what you call sayings in many languages. Like Kannada, we say jivak bantu. In our language also we say jiva raila. So, that means what? I mean, it's so, sometimes it can be very, very difficult that they may give us happiness, but they are not something which are going to be permanent. And they're all temporary sources of happiness. And that temporary source of happiness also is nothing but that which is reflected from my own Atma Ananda, nothing else. That is what is talked about. So ultimately, all these things, what happens? You go from life to life, from life to death, life to death, life to death, because all these things make you do karma, make you accumulate karma phala, karma, karma phala, life, death, coming back again and again. These things continue to happen, and therefore, spending all our lives in working for all these things, working for putra ishana, vitta ishana, loka ishana, working all our lives, and not bothered about finding out that permanent source of happiness and security. What a waste of life, no? Mahati vinashti, Brahma Jnanam vina, this janma nashtam, he said. Janma is gone, nashta janma, that is gone. It is wasted life. Because all the time we are running after alpa sukha. But what we really lose is that which is the very permanent source of peace and happiness which is there within us. That is what we are losing. So that is what he says here. And in the next verse, in the 79th verse, he says, Sapteruthaya suptyantam brahmaikam pravichintyatam nati dure nrinam mrityuhu iti vedantadindimah. Suptehe uthaya suptyantam. From the time you get up in the morning till the time you sleep again in the night. That means your entire waking day, let your entire waking hours, he says, Brahmaikyam pravichintyatam. May you look at everything as Brahman. That's the only way. What is niddhidhyasanam? Initially, we may be sitting and doing niddhidhyasanam. But ultimately, what is niddhidhyasanam? Everything that I see, a beautiful name and form. Oh, this is a beautiful manifestation of Ishvara. But this name and form is uncertain. This name and form is something which is not going to be there tomorrow. I see a beautiful flower. I enjoy its beauty as Ishvara's creation. As a projection of Maya, as a name and form, yes, I enjoy. Not only that, I thank the Lord for giving me that opportunity to see that, but at the same time, this is nothing other than Brahman. This beautiful name and form, which is merely a name and form, but whose adhishtanam is Brahman, Sat Atma, that which is Sarvagata Atma, Brahman is its real nature. Like that, in everything that I do, in everything that I see, when I'm interacting with somebody else, I say, yes, this body mind sense complex is interacting with another body mind sense complex. But ultimately, what is there? That body mind sense complex is not the real. That Atma, that Satchitananda Atma behind that Upadhi is the real. And that is none other than me. Therefore, from whatever I see, whatever I deal with, whatever I talk about, okay, all the time, I'm able to discount the name and form, okay, Drishyam, I'm able to discount and see Brahman in everything. That is what is called as the Brahma Chintanam. Brahmaika Pravichintyatam. Prakarshena Chintyatam. Brahmaiva. Anything that I interact with, anything that I see, anything I transact, anything that I perceive, behind this name and form is nothing but that Brahman. That Brahman, that Atma, that is the permanent, that is the infinite. Whereas this name and form is only temporarily available for my transaction. Nothing more than that. If this is the attitude, if this is the thought process in my mind from morning to night, that is what is called as Brahma Chintanam. Okay, so everything is Brahman, and that Brahman I am. I am there. This flower, beautiful flower, what is it? It is me, I, this Atma Brahman with the name and form. I am there everywhere. I am the very adhishtanam of everything. This Brahman is none other than myself. When I see that, the names and forms also I enjoy. I transact. At the same time, a deep understanding that behind all the names and forms of Anatma, there is nothing but this Satchitananda Atma Brahman iti supteruthaya. Because we have no control over our thoughts in Swapnavastha, in Sushupti Avastha, isn't it? But we have the way we think. To a large extent, we can direct our thoughts. We can understand something only in the Jagrid Avastha. So, Suptehe Uttaya. Suptehe Uttaya means when I get up from my deep sleep, Suptyantam, till I go back to sleep again. That is, in my entire Jagrid Avastha, what do? Brahmaikam pravichintyatam. Doesn't mean that I sit in one place, close my eyes for 24 hours, not do anything and say, Brahmasti, Brahmasti, Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmasmi. No, 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 not that. Throughout my waking time, throughout my waking period, if I can see everything as Brahman, whatever name and form, intellectually, mentally, if I can keep it aside and see the Atma Brahman underlying or that behind every name and form, that this is really Atma Brahman and what I'm experiencing is only name and form. So when I see the whole universe as nothing but Brahma Swarupam only, the whole universe as a manifestation of Brahman, and what is that Brahman? Not different from me. Ahameva. Ahameva tad Brahma asti iti brahmaikam pravichintyatam na ati durendranam mrityuhu. Death is not far away. We don't know, because once this body goes, mahati vinashti, if I have not understood this, what happens then? I don't know in what form I will come. We have discussed it in the last session. I don't know where I'll be born, in which culture I'll be born, with which kind of a mindset I'll be born, with which kind of a body, upadhi I'll be born. I may be, for all you know, my papa karmas may be, sanchita karmas, lot of my papa karmas may be there, which are making me to take an adhogati or something like that. Then what happens to me? So death is not far away. Now we are exposed to this knowledge. Take it seriously. That's what he's saying. That is nati dure nrinam mrityuhu. When death is going to come, when we are going to be away from this particular situation where we have an exposure to Vedanta, where we have the capacity to understand Vedanta, when and where that is going to disappear, we do not know. Therefore, nati dure mrityuhu nrinam. Nrinam means for a person, for human beings, mrityu is not far away. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your life. Don't postpone, exposing yourself to Shastra and Guru for a long time. I will do it after I am retired. I am very busy now. I cannot do it. There are many more important things for me. Yes, all of us have important things to be done. But nati dure drinam mrityuhu iti Vedantadindimah. There's absolutely no guarantee when you're going to get out of this present situation, which is the most conducive. Let's not postpone our Shravanam, Madanam, and Niddhidhyasanam. Nandantu sadhaka sarve vinashyantu vidushakaha avastha shambhavi mestu prasannostu gurus sada sarve bhavantu sukhinaha sarve santu niramayaha sarve bhadrani pashyantu ma kaschid dukkham apnuyat. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Tat Sat.